Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. That's the quote I want you to sit with right now, my friends, because many of you have been lied to. You've been told that silence means weakness, that if they pulled away and you didn't run after them, you lost. But the truth, silence is the most powerful move you can make. Silence isn't about doing nothing. It's about letting your absence do the talking. Here's the hard reality. Chasing never works. Explaining yourself into exhaustion never works. And begging? That kills attraction faster than anything else. What actually works is the opposite of what most people are doing. What works is silence. It's the quiet shift of power that makes them feel your presence even more in your absence. Before I dive deeper, hit that like button and subscribe right now so you don't miss the rest of this. Because this video might just be the one that flips everything for you. Stay with me because this is going to get real. Hey folks, imagine this. Imagine your favorite song playing on repeat every single day, everywhere you go. At first it's your favorite, you love it. But then after hearing it constantly, you stop noticing it. It just becomes noise. That's exactly what happens when you keep chasing, keep texting, keep calling. You become background noise. But now picture this. Suddenly that song disappears. Days go by, weeks go by. Out of nowhere you catch a few notes of it again. What happens? You feel it more deeply than ever. That's what silence does. It makes them crave what they once took for granted. Now let me ask you something hard. Why do you think they don't feel your value when you're constantly available? Why do you think they don't miss you when you're always there? Because, folks, nobody craves what they already have unlimited access to. Scarcity creates value. That's not just relationships, that's life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The things we love tell us what we are." And when someone suddenly feels the silence you've left behind, they're forced to confront what you meant to them. And let's get even more real. Most people can't handle silence because silence exposes their insecurities. They're terrified of being forgotten, so they keep showing up in someone else's world uninvited. But here's what they don't understand. When you chase, you're telling them you have no value unless they validate you. But when you're silent, you're saying, "My worth stands whether you see it or not." That's strength. That's power. Think about a fire, my friends. If you blow on it constantly, the flame suffocates. But if you step back, let the air and space do its work, the fire grows bigger, stronger, unstoppable. That's your energy. Stop smothering it with desperate attention. Let silence give it room to burn so bright that they can't ignore it. Some of you are sitting here doubting, thinking, what if they don't come back? And I'll tell you the truth. If they don't, it means they never valued you in the first place. And isn't that better to know now than to waste years begging for scraps? Silence doesn't just make them come back, it filters who actually deserves to. Folks, this is your reminder. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is power. And the one who masters silence never loses. Because either they come back, or you move on stronger, wiser, and more in control of your own worth than ever before. So write this in the comments right now. Silence is my power. That's your affirmation. Repeat it, own it, live it. And if this is already hitting you deep, press that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because what I'm about to share next will show you exactly how silence makes them 100% come back. Silence is my power. Write it down. Own it. Stay with me. Number 1. Why silence shifts the power. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. That's not just a poetic line, my friends. It's a fact of life and relationships. Most people think silence is weakness, that if you don't respond, if you don't fight for someone's attention, you'll lose them. But here's the truth that nobody wants to face. Silence doesn't make you lose them. Silence makes you find out if they were ever really yours. Think about it. When they walked away, when they stopped replying, or when they started giving you half of their energy, what was the first thought that came to your mind? Fear. The fear that if you didn't act fast, you'd lose them forever. And that fear is exactly what drives most people to chase, to beg, to over-explain. But here's the reality. Fear is the very thing that destroys attraction. Fear turns you into a puppet, dancing for someone else's approval. Fear makes you think that silence means losing control, when in fact silence is the only way you regain it. Let me give you an image. Picture a chessboard. When you're chasing them, you're moving all your pieces wildly, trying to force a win, and they're just sitting back, calm, watching you exhaust yourself. But when you go silent, that's when the board shifts. That's when suddenly every move you didn't make, every word you didn't say, makes them wonder what you're planning. Your silence makes them nervous, it makes them curious, and it makes them realize you're not a pawn, you're the player. And here's the lie most of you have been told, that if you really care, you must prove it constantly, that if they pull away, you must run harder. Folks, that's not love. That's slavery. That's dependence. That's the quickest way to kill desire. Because nobody misses what they already have too much of. If you're always available, always talking, always chasing, what room do you leave for them to miss you? None. Silence, on the other hand, creates space. Space creates curiosity. And curiosity is the seed of desire. They'll start asking themselves, why aren't you calling? Why aren't you texting? Did they move on? Did they find someone better? Did I lose them? That storm of questions begins the moment you stop flooding them with answers. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's exactly what silence teaches you. You cannot control how they act. You cannot control whether they stay or leave. But you can control whether you give away your dignity in the process. Silence is choosing your dignity over your desperation. But let's be real, it's not easy. Your mind will play tricks on you. At night, you'll hear that little voice saying, "What if they forget me? What if they don't care? What if silence pushes them further away?" And that's where most people fail. They break their silence too soon because they can't handle the discomfort. But let me remind you, if your silence makes them forget you, they were never thinking about you in the first place. And if your silence makes them come closer, then you just discovered the power you've had all along. Think about fire, folks. If you keep pouring water on it, it dies. But if you step back and let it breathe, it roars to life. That's exactly what happens when you stop smothering them with constant presence. Your silence gives them space to feel the emptiness, to feel the void only you once filled. And nothing hits harder than realizing the fire is gone. Now, here's another hard truth. Silence doesn't just shift the power in their mind, it shifts the power in yours. Every day you choose silence, you remind yourself, I don't need to beg. I don't need to prove. I don't need to break myself for someone else's validation. That's freedom, and when they sense that freedom, it pulls them back like gravity, because people are wired to want what they can't control. But here's where you need courage. Courage to stay silent when every bone in your body wants to send that message. Courage to let them wonder instead of running to clarify. Courage to accept that if they don't return, you're still whole. That courage, that's what transforms you. That's what makes silence not just a tactic, but a lifestyle of strength. So, let me say this to you right now. Stop believing the lie that silence means losing. Stop believing the lie that constant presence equals love. Start believing in the truth that silence is power, that absence creates value, and that if they are meant to come back, it will be because your silence made them feel the weight of losing you. My friends, this is your turning point. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to fight to be seen. You don't have to beg to be loved. All you have to do is hold your silence and let it speak louder than your words ever could. Write this in the comments right now. Silence shifts power. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that you will no longer chase, you will no longer beg, you will no longer break. You will rise in silence and let the power shift in your favor. And stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to reveal the hidden psychology behind why absence always creates desire. You won't want to miss it. Number 2, absence creates curiosity. People do not value what is always available. They value what is rare, what is uncertain, what makes them wonder. My friends, let me tell you, absence is not just distance, it is fuel. It is the spark that ignites curiosity in the mind of the one who thought they could overlook you. When you step back, when you go quiet, when you remove your presence, something strange begins to happen. The very person who once ignored you begins to search for you in the silence. Now, let's get real. Most people are terrified of absence. They believe that if they're not constantly visible, they'll be forgotten. They think, if I don't text them, they'll forget I exist. If I don't check in, they'll move on. If I don't make my presence felt, someone else will take my place. And that fear, folks, is exactly what keeps them trapped in cycles of overgiving and under-receiving. But here's the hard truth. The more present you make yourself, the less they notice you. And the more absent you are, the more their mind has no choice but to fill in the gap. Picture this. You're in a room with a ticking clock. At first, you notice the sound. Tick, tock. But as the minutes pass, your brain tunes it out. It becomes background noise. Now imagine the clock suddenly stops. Silence. That silence jolts you awake. You look around, wondering why it feels different. You notice the absence more than you ever noticed the presence. That's how human psychology works. We take what's constant for granted, but we obsess over what suddenly disappears. And this is exactly where absence becomes your weapon. When you step back, when you stop flooding their life with your attention, they begin to notice the gap you left behind. They may not admit it, they may not even understand it, but in the back of their mind, questions start rising. Why aren't they calling me anymore? Who are they spending time with? Did I lose their interest? Did someone else take my place? Those questions, that uncertainty, that's the birthplace of missing you. Let me break another lie you've been told. That presence equals love. That the more you give, the more they'll appreciate you. Wrong. That's not how the mind works. When something is always available, it becomes ordinary. It loses its shine. But when something becomes scarce, it becomes valuable. Think about diamonds. They're just rocks, but their scarcity makes them priceless. Your presence, when overused, is like a common stone. But your absence? That's what turns you into a diamond. Now, some of you might ask, but what if they don't notice my absence? And here's the harsh truth. If your absence means nothing to them, your presence never did either. Isn't it better to know that now, rather than waste years trying to force someone to see your value? Absence is the test. It reveals the truth without you saying a single word. Epictetus, the great Stoic, once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, be willing to be misunderstood. Be willing to sit in silence, to let them think you're gone, to let them wonder. That discomfort is the price of wisdom, because while they are wondering where you went, you are rising. While they are imagining your life without them, you are living it. And nothing is more attractive than someone who does not need to be seen to know their worth. Let's put it in simpler terms, folks. Absence plants seeds of doubt in their mind. Presence keeps them comfortable. Which do you want? Comfort or curiosity? Do you want them secure in the idea that you'll always be there? Or do you want them lying awake at night, scrolling through your profile, wondering why you stopped giving them the energy you once did? That's the difference silence and absence make. But here's where it gets difficult. Your brain will fight you. The urge to break silence will crawl up your spine. You'll stare at your phone, your thumb hovering over their name, telling yourself, one text won't hurt, one call won't ruin it. But every time you break that silence, you snatch away the curiosity that was just beginning to build. Every time you rush back, you remind them that they don't need to reach out because you'll always be the one doing the work. And that, my friends, kills attraction. Think about a story or movie you love. What keeps you hooked? The suspense, the not knowing what's coming next. If the ending was given away at the start, you'd stop watching. That's how human attention works. Your absence is that suspense. It keeps them hooked because they don't know what's coming next. Are you gone forever? Have you moved on? Will you come back stronger? The uncertainty makes them crave the answer. Let me give you a real metaphor here. Imagine a glass of water. If you sip it all day, you never feel thirsty. But if you stop drinking for a while, that thirst builds, and when you finally take a sip, it tastes better than ever. That's what your absence does. It creates thirst. It makes your presence feel like water in the desert. And here's the empowering part. You don't even have to try. Absence does the work for you. All you have to do is hold back, resist the urge to over-explain, resist the need to chase, and let time do its work. Absence is not a game. It's a mirror. It shows them who they are without you. And more importantly, it shows you who you are without them. Now, you might still be afraid they'll forget you, afraid someone else will replace you, afraid that silence will push them away permanently. But think about it. If someone can forget you that easily, were they ever truly invested in the first place? If someone can replace you without hesitation, do they deserve your presence? And if silence pushes them away, maybe it was never meant to be yours. That's not a loss, that's clarity. Folks, let this truth sink in. Absence is not punishment, it is power. It is not about making them suffer, it's about making them see. And whether they come back or not, you win. Because if they come back, it's because they felt the weight of your silence. And if they don't, you've freed yourself from someone who never valued you. That's not losing, that's liberation. So right now, I want you to write this in the comments. My absence creates value. That's your affirmation. Show them, show yourself, and show the world around you that you will no longer fear silence. You will no longer fear distance. You will use it as your weapon, as your filter, as your strategy. And stay with me, because in the next section, we're going to uncover something even deeper. The power of mystery. Why revealing less, not more, is the key to making them think about you long after you've gone. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. Number 3, the power of mystery. The less they know about you, the more they think about you. That's the line I want you to carry in your mind, my friends, because here's the truth. Mystery is not about playing games, it's about power. It's about making your presence unforgettable, not by over-explaining, not by handing out every detail of your life, but by holding something back, by letting them wonder, by letting their mind run wild in the silence you've created. Let's face it, most people think that honesty means telling everything. They think the faster they pour their heart out, the stronger the connection will be. They talk about every fear, every plan, every detail of their day. They announce their feelings at every opportunity, hoping it'll make the other person feel safe, secure, and closer. But here's the harsh truth. They're killing the very spark they're trying to build. Because attraction isn't born out of complete transparency. Attraction is born out of mystery, out of curiosity, out of not fully knowing but desperately wanting to find out. Think about your favorite movie. What keeps you hooked? Is it the opening scene giving away the ending? No, it's the suspense. It's the unanswered questions that make you lean in closer, that make you think about the story even when you're not watching it. Now imagine if the movie spoiled the ending in the first 5 minutes. Would you care to keep watching? That's exactly what happens when you reveal too much too soon. You remove the suspense. You rob them of the very curiosity that keeps attraction alive. Here's where most people go wrong. They believe that if they don't tell everything, they'll lose trust. They believe that by holding back, they'll look disinterested. And so they open the floodgates, confessing every thought, every detail, every insecurity. And then they wonder why the spark dies so quickly. The reality is, when you reveal everything about yourself right away, you leave nothing for them to imagine. And when there's nothing to imagine, there's nothing to chase. Mystery works differently. Mystery makes them think about you even when you're not around. It makes them fill in the blanks with their own thoughts, their own emotions, their own imagination. And here's the powerful part. Their imagination is always more intense than your explanations. What they picture in their mind will always feel stronger than what you tell them directly. That's why when you hold back a little, when you don't reveal everything, they end up doing the work for you. They end up chasing. Let me give you a metaphor, folks. Imagine 2 boxes in front of you. One is open, showing everything inside. No secrets, no surprises. The other is closed. You can't see what's inside, but you know something's there. Which box captures your attention longer? The closed one. Because the unknown always hooks the mind more than the known. That's how mystery works in attraction. You become the closed box. Not because you're hiding, not because you're dishonest, but because you understand the value of not revealing everything at once. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one in the same way. Waste no more time trying to convince them of your worth with endless words. Be the mystery. Be the person they can't fully figure out. Let your silence and your actions create questions they can't ignore. That's more powerful than any long paragraph of explanation." Now, some of you might be thinking, but won't they get frustrated if I don't open up? Here's the truth. You're not shutting them out. You're pacing the connection. You're letting things unfold slowly, naturally, in a way that keeps the intrigue alive. Think of it like firewood. If you throw it all on the fire at once, it burns out too quickly. But if you add piece by piece, the flame keeps growing. That's how you keep attraction alive, with pacing, with mystery, with restraint. And let's not forget, mystery isn't just about holding back words. It's about how you carry yourself. It's in the way you walk into a room without trying to be the loudest, but still draw attention. It's in the way you listen more than you speak, letting them wonder what's on your mind. It's in the way you don't rush to respond to every message because your life is full. Your world is bigger than just them. That subtle restraint, that quiet confidence, that's what makes them lean forward. That's what makes them crave your attention even more. Here's the biggest lie you need to stop believing, that if you don't reveal everything, they'll lose interest. Wrong. The truth is, if you reveal everything too soon, that's when they lose interest. because there's no thrill left. There's no chase. There's no story worth following. Mystery isn't about manipulation. It's about discipline. It's about knowing that your value doesn't come from how much you give away, but from how much you hold back. Think about it this way, my friends. If someone always tells you exactly how they feel about you, exactly where they are, exactly what they're doing, there's no tension, no uncertainty, no excitement. But if someone occasionally leaves you wondering, what are they up to? What are they thinking? Do they still feel the same? That's when they stay in your head. That's when you can't stop thinking about them. That's when absence turns into craving. But let me be clear. Mystery is not about lies. It's not about playing with someone's emotions. It's about being selective, about giving in doses, about letting them earn the deeper parts of you over time. That's what creates depth. That's what creates lasting attraction. And I know some of you feel scared. You feel like if you don't constantly reassure them, they'll walk away. You feel like if you don't explain yourself, they'll misunderstand you. But let me tell you something. If someone needs constant reassurance to stay, they're not strong enough to walk beside you anyway. And if someone walks away because you didn't reveal every detail right away, that's not your loss. That's your filter. Silence and mystery reveal who is truly drawn to you and who just wants easy access without effort. So let me give you this image to hold on to. Imagine the night sky. If the sun shone all day and all night, you'd never see the stars. You'd never appreciate the beauty of the night. But because the sun withdraws, the stars appear, and the mystery of the universe comes alive. Your mystery is the night sky. Your silence is the backdrop that makes you unforgettable. My friends, remember this. It's not what you tell them that makes them miss you. It's what you don't. It's the questions you leave unanswered, the spaces you leave open, the thoughts you don't clarify. That's where curiosity is born, and curiosity is far more powerful than constant reassurance. So here's your affirmation for today. Write this in the comments right now. My mystery is my magnet. Let the world know you will no longer be an open book begging to be read. You will be the story that keeps them turning the pages, desperate to see what happens next. And stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dig even deeper into another truth. Why being someone's guarantee kills attraction, and why the moment they think they can't lose you, they stop valuing you. You don't want to miss that. Number 4, stop being the guarantee. Nothing valuable is ever taken for granted. Let that sink in, my friends, because here's the brutal truth. If they know you'll always be there, no matter what, you've already killed their need to appreciate you. If you've made yourself the guarantee, the fallback plan, the one they can call at 2 a.m., knowing you'll pick up, you've stripped away your own value. Let me ask you this. Why do you think people treat rare things like treasures, but treat what's always there as disposable? Why do diamonds hold more value than pebbles? Why does a scarce resource become priceless while something abundant gets ignored? It's simple. Scarcity creates value. Unlimited access creates indifference. When you make yourself someone's guarantee, you become that pebble. Always there, always overlooked, always ignored. And then you wonder why they don't chase you, why they don't miss you, why they don't fight for you. Picture this. You're standing at a water fountain. Every time you're thirsty, you can drink freely. You never have to think about it, never have to fear losing it, because it's guaranteed. But imagine if that fountain suddenly dried up. Imagine walking by day after day, feeling the thirst grow stronger, realizing the one thing you always took for granted is no longer available. That's when the craving begins. That's when the value appears. That's when regret hits. That's the psychology of absence, and that's why you must stop being their guarantee. Most people, out of fear, do the opposite. They make themselves overly available. They reply instantly. They cancel their plans at the hint of attention. They wait by the phone like it's their lifeline. Why? Because deep down, they're terrified that if they're not always there, they'll be forgotten. But the paradox is this: the more guaranteed you are, the less memorable you become. Here's the lie you've been sold: that being dependable 24/7 will make them see your worth, that always being available shows loyalty, love, and devotion. Wrong. Loyalty isn't about availability, it's about choice. And if you never give them the chance to miss you, they'll never see the depth of what you bring. Being the guarantee doesn't win respect, it creates boredom. Let's talk psychology for a moment. Human beings are wired to crave uncertainty. That tension between what's secure and what might slip away, that's what sparks desire. When they know you're guaranteed, there's no tension, no spark, no fire. But when you step back, when you show them your energy is not unlimited, when you let them feel the silence of your absence, that's when the tension returns. That's when desire reawakens. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." In the same way, you should not fear losing someone who takes you for granted. You should fear living as a guarantee, never truly being valued. Because living as someone's backup plan isn't living, it's settling. It's accepting crumbs when you deserve a feast. Now I know what you're thinking, but if I stop being available, won't they just move on? And my answer is this: if someone can leave because you stopped being their guarantee, then they never wanted you for who you are. They wanted you for the convenience. And that's not love, that's utility. You're not a tool to be used. You're a person to be valued. If your silence makes them forget you, then good. Better to know now than to waste years being a guarantee that never mattered. Think about relationships like a game of tug-of-war. If you're always pulling, always holding on, always keeping the rope tight, what does the other person do? They relax. They stop pulling. They let you do all the work. But if you drop your end of the rope, suddenly they panic. Suddenly they have to pull. Suddenly they feel the weight of the loss. That's what happens when you stop being the guarantee. You force them to either step up or watch you walk away. Let's get practical. How do you stop being the guarantee? You stop responding instantly to every message. You stop rearranging your schedule just to fit into theirs. You stop letting them believe that no matter how they treat you, you'll always be there. You build your own life. You create your own priorities. You show, not tell, that your time is valuable, and not everyone has access to it. That's when they feel the shift. That's when they realize they're no longer the center of your universe. And ironically, that's when they want your attention the most. Here's a metaphor to keep in your mind. Imagine a candle in a dark room. If it burns constantly, it eventually melts away, unnoticed. But if it flickers, if it goes out and returns, its light becomes mesmerizing. That's your presence. If you burn endlessly, they stop noticing. But if you step back, if you let silence in, the moment you reappear feels brighter than ever. And let me hit you with another hard truth. Being the guarantee isn't selfless, it's self-destructive. Because deep down, when you make yourself always available, you're telling yourself that your value comes from being chosen, not from choosing. You're placing your worth in someone else's hands. And that, my friends, is a dangerous place to live. But here's the beautiful part. When you stop being the guarantee, you gain something much greater: respect. Respect from them, because they now see you're not desperate. Respect from yourself, because you finally recognize your own value. And respect is what makes you unforgettable. People don't miss the ones who beg to stay. They miss the ones who had the courage to leave. So, my friends, I want you to write this in the comments right now. I am not their guarantee. That's your affirmation. Own it. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that you will no longer live as someone's backup plan, that your time, your energy, your love, these are not guarantees. They are privileges. And if someone doesn't treat them as such, you will step back, you will walk away, and you will let your silence speak louder than words ever could. And stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to dig into an even deeper truth, the magnetic pull of confidence. Why confidence is more addictive than love itself, and why without it, no amount of loyalty or affection will ever make them crave you. You don't want to miss that. Number 5. Confidence is louder than words. Without confidence, even love feels like weakness. My friends, let's hit this one hard because this is where so many of you go wrong. You believe that love alone is enough, that if you pour out your heart, if you give them your loyalty, if you bend over backwards to prove yourself, they'll see your worth. But here's the truth. Love without confidence doesn't inspire desire. It inspires pity. It makes you look like someone begging for scraps instead of standing as the feast. And pity has never pulled anyone back into your arms. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone choose the loud, unshakably confident person over the kind-hearted but insecure one? How many times have you wondered, why did they go for them? I treated them better. The answer is confidence. Confidence isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. It's the unspoken energy that draws people in without you having to chase. Picture a man walking into a room. He doesn't need to be the best dressed. He doesn't need to be the loudest. He doesn't even need to be the most handsome. But the way he carries himself, the way he takes up space without apology, the way he looks people in the eye, it makes people turn their heads. That's confidence. It's not about arrogance. It's about energy. It's about the quiet, grounded power that says, I know my worth, whether you see it or not. Now let's get brutally honest. Many of you confuse confidence with words. You think if you send long paragraphs, explain your feelings, and overshare, you'll come across as strong. But the reality is, words without conviction sound like noise. Confidence isn't what you say, it's what you show. It's in your actions, it's in the way you move when nobody's watching. It's in your ability to walk away when respect is no longer being served. That's the kind of confidence that lingers in someone's mind long after you've gone silent. Here's another way to see it. Confidence is like a flame. Love without confidence is like pouring water on that flame. It weakens it, suffocates it, leaves only smoke. But love with confidence? That's gasoline. It burns brighter. It leaves a mark. It cannot be ignored. And when you walk away with confidence, you don't just leave. They feel your absence in every corner of their life. And here's the lie you've been sold, that being nice will win them back. That if you just show them how much you care, they'll finally realize your value. Wrong. Niceness without backbone is weakness. Love without boundaries is suffocation. What they crave isn't your blind devotion. It's your unshakable presence. It's knowing that you want them but you don't need them. That you love them but you're not afraid to lose them. That balance, my friends, is the essence of confidence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." B1 confidence is exactly that. It's not talking about who you are, it's being who you are. Without apology, without hesitation, without needing constant validation. And when you embody that, they feel it. Even in your silence, they feel it. But here's where it gets difficult. Many of you are scared to show confidence because deep down, you don't believe you're enough. You think, if I stand still, they'll forget me. If I stop proving myself, they'll move on. That fear is the very thing that makes you cling, that makes you chase, that makes you beg. And every time you do that, you confirm their suspicion that you are not the prize. You're the pursuer. But the truth is, you are the prize. You just haven't owned it yet. Confidence means knowing you bring value to the table, even if they choose not to sit with you. Confidence means walking away from disrespect without flinching. Confidence means not letting silence terrify you, but letting it amplify you. Because while they're wondering where you went, while they're scrolling through your profile, while they're replaying old conversations, you're living, you're building, you're growing. That's confidence. Think about this. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable in imperfection. It's about saying, yes, I have flaws, but I still know my worth. And nothing is more powerful than that. Because confidence is addictive. It lingers in the mind. It keeps people awake at night, wondering why they can't stop thinking about you. It makes them miss you, not because you begged, not because you forced, but because you embodied something they can't easily replace. Let me give you a metaphor. Confidence is like gravity. You don't see it, you don't hear it, but you feel it pulling everything toward it. A confident person doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to prove, doesn't need to demand attention. They just attract it naturally. That's why confidence beats love, beats words, beats effort. Because it's invisible, undeniable, unshakable. Here's another truth. Confidence is what makes your silence powerful. Without confidence, silence feels like fear. With confidence, silence feels like dominance. It's the difference between someone who goes quiet because they're scared and someone who goes quiet because they know their worth, doesn't need defending. And that silence, my friends, is unforgettable. Now, I know some of you are still clinging to the hope that love will be enough. But hear me clearly. Love without confidence is dependency. And dependency repels. If you want them to miss you, if you want them to crave you, if you want them to come back, you must show them that your love is a choice, not a need. That's what makes them chase. That's what makes them feel your absence in the silence. So, my friends, let this sink in. Confidence is louder than words, more addictive than love, and more unforgettable than any effort you could ever make. It's not about what you give them. It's about how you carry yourself. And when you master that, they will never forget you. Write this in the comments right now. Confidence is my magnet. That's your affirmation. Repeat it, own it, live it. Show them, show yourself. Show the world around you that you no longer need to beg, to chase, to prove. Your confidence will speak louder than any words, any text, any act of desperation. And stay with me, because in the next section, we're going to unlock another secret, why making them believe they're losing you triggers the deepest desire of all. That's when silence turns into fire, and you'll see why absence is the ultimate teacher. You won't want to miss it. Number 6. Make them think they're losing you. People don't value what's guaranteed. They value what they might lose. Let that line strike deep, my friends, because it is one of the most powerful truths in human psychology. If they believe you'll always be there, waiting in the background, ready to answer, ready to forgive, ready to give them another chance no matter what, they will never fight for you. They will never feel the urgency to cherish you. They will never fear losing you. And without that fear, there is no desire. Think about it. When do people finally clean up their act? When they believe the opportunity is slipping away? When do they suddenly want the car, the house, or the job? When someone else is about to take it? When does someone who ignored you yesterday suddenly call you today? When your silence makes them wonder, what if they're moving on? What if someone else sees what I overlooked? That fear, that possibility of loss, triggers something no amount of chasing ever could. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're at an auction. At first, you don't care much about the item. It's just sitting there, available, no competition. But suddenly, the auctioneer says, going once, going twice. Now, urgency floods your chest. Suddenly, you raise your hand, even if you weren't sure before, because you can't bear the thought of losing it. That's the psychology of scarcity. That's what happens when you stop making yourself a guarantee. They suddenly wake up to the fact that if they don't act, they'll lose you forever. But here's the lie you've been sold, that making someone feel secure at all times is what keeps them. Wrong. Constant reassurance kills attraction. Always being available kills urgency. And being their permanent fallback destroys any respect they might have had. The truth is, people don't miss what they believe they can't lose. They miss what they think is slipping out of their grasp. Now let's get raw for a moment. Some of you are terrified of this. You think, if I let them feel like they're losing me, what if they actually let me go? And that's exactly why you've been stuck. Because you'd rather chain yourself to their comfort than risk finding out the truth. But listen closely. If someone can let you go that easily, then they were never truly holding on in the first place. Better to know the truth through silence than to waste years being someone's safety net. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In the same way, if it is not respected, do not stay. If it is not valued, do not give. And if they cannot feel the weight of losing you, then what are you staying for? Every time you make yourself too safe, too guaranteed, you're feeding them comfort at the expense of your own power. Let's go deeper. When you let them think they're losing you, you're not manipulating them, you're respecting yourself. You're saying, I am not here to be taken for granted. If you don't value me, someone else will. That's not a game, it's a boundary. It's showing that your time, your love, your energy are not infinite supplies. They are precious, they are earned, and if someone doesn't treat them with care, they lose access. That realization hits harder than any words you could ever speak. Think of it like holding sand in your hand. The tighter they believe their grip, the less they notice the grains slipping through their fingers. But when you stop forcing yourself to stay, when you let silence speak, they suddenly look down and realize you're almost gone. That's when panic sets in. That's when they feel the sting of regret. That's when they chase. But here's the challenge. You have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to let them truly feel the silence. Too many of you break halfway. You go silent for a few days, they don't respond, and you come running back desperate, undoing all the progress you made. But the one who wins is the one who can stand firm, the one who can look loss in the eye and say, I will not beg, I will not break. If you can let me go, then I was never yours to begin with. That strength is what transforms absence into attraction. Let me give you another metaphor. Imagine a store that gives away shoes for free. People will grab them, use them, toss them aside, and never think twice. But now imagine the same store puts those shoes behind glass, raises the price and warns only limited pairs available. Suddenly, everyone lines up. Suddenly, those shoes that once collected dust are seen as valuable. Did the shoes change? No, the way they were positioned did. That's you. You don't need to change who you are. You need to stop giving yourself away for free. And I know some of you feel resistance. You're thinking, but I want to show them I care. I don't want to lose them. My friends, caring without confidence is dependency. Love without boundaries is weakness. If you truly want them to come back, you must give them the gift of fear, the fear of losing you. Because nothing makes the human heart beat faster than the thought, what if I've lost something I can't replace? Here's the paradox. When you finally stop fearing their absence, that's when they start fearing yours. When you finally stop begging for their attention, that's when they start craving it. When you finally let them think they've lost you, that's when they fight the hardest to keep you. And even if they don't, you've already won. Because you've proven to yourself that your worth is not tied to their choice. You've proven that your silence is stronger than their neglect. Folks, let this truth break the chains in your mind. They don't actually miss the nice guy who was always available, always forgiving, always chasing. They miss the one who had the courage to disappear. They miss the one who had the strength to let them go. They miss the one who made them feel the weight of loss. That's the man they replay in their head at night. That's the man they regret letting slip away. So here's what I want you to do right now. Write this in the comments. I am not their guarantee. Say it, own it, let it echo. Because when you live by that truth, you shift the power. You stop being the fallback plan and you become the standard. And whether they come back or not, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. And stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to dive into the ultimate lesson of Stoicism in relationships, detachment. Why letting go of the outcome is not just power, but freedom. That's the final piece that makes them 100% come back. And more importantly, it makes you unstoppable. Don't miss it. Number 7, detach from the outcome. He who has conquered himself is truly free. That line, my friends, from the Stoics, is the foundation of what we're about to break down. Because at the core of all attraction, all silence, all absence, and all power, there is one truth. You must detach from the outcome. You cannot make them miss you if your entire being is wrapped around the hope that they will. You cannot create curiosity if you are suffocating under the need for a reply. And you cannot make them come back if you are still chained to the fear of them leaving forever. Detachment is the final step. It is the ultimate freedom. Think about it. Why does silence work? Why does absence create desire? Why does mystery pull people in? Because those who practice these things are not tied to what happens next. They're not living in desperation. They're not waiting by the phone, calculating every second of response time. They are living, they are walking forward. They are embodying the truth that their life has meaning with or without someone else's presence. That, my friends, is what makes them unforgettable. But let's hit a lie right in the chest. Society has told you that if you love someone, you must hold on as tightly as possible. That letting go means giving up. That detaching means you never cared. Wrong. Detachment is not about not caring. It's about caring in a way that doesn't destroy you. It's about loving without losing yourself. It's about saying, I can want this, but I don't need this to survive. And that energy is magnetic, because when someone realizes you love them, but you're not afraid to walk away, that's when they feel your strength. Imagine a rope in your hands. You've been pulling with all your force, desperate to keep them tied to you. But the tighter you grip, the more the rope burns your palms, the more you bleed, the more exhausted you become. And yet, they don't move closer. They only lean back further. Now imagine you suddenly drop the rope. The pain stops, the tension shifts, and the silence makes them stumble forward, realizing you're no longer fighting for what they took for granted. That, right there, is detachment. The moment you stop clinging, the power shifts. Here's why detachment is so difficult. It feels like surrender. It feels like giving up. Your mind screams at you, if I don't chase, I'll lose them. If I don't prove myself, they'll forget me. That fear is the addiction. That fear is the chain. And yet, it's only when you let go of the outcome that you begin to live with power. Because when you no longer fear loss, you become the one thing people cannot control. You become free. And freedom, my friends, is the most attractive energy on earth. Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And isn't that what relationships often are? Things beyond your control. You cannot control their feelings. You cannot control their choices. You cannot control whether they stay or leave. But you can control how you respond. You can control whether you beg or remain silent. You can control whether you break or rise. And when you choose detachment, you choose peace. Let's get real with a metaphor. Imagine holding water in your hand. If you squeeze tightly, the water slips out, leaving you empty. But if you cup your hand gently, without force, the water stays. Detachment works the same way. When you stop squeezing, when you stop forcing, when you let things flow, you don't just keep your peace. You allow them to flow back to you naturally. And if they don't, you still keep your peace. You still keep your strength. But here's the paradox. You'll only truly make them miss you when you stop caring if they do. Because when your silence isn't a tactic, when it isn't a game, when it isn't a trick but an honest reflection of your self-worth, that's when it hits the deepest. That's when they feel the weight of losing you. That's when their mind replays the moments, the words, the presence they thought would always be there. Detachment makes silence real, and real silence is unforgettable. Now you might still ask, but how do I detach when I care so much? The answer is simple, but not easy. You shift your focus inward, you build your body, you sharpen your mind, you chase your mission, not them. You stop waking up wondering if they'll call, and you wake up wondering how you'll grow today. You stop sitting in silence as a punishment to them, and you start using silence as a gift to yourself. That shift from waiting for them to valuing you is the essence of detachment. Think of the strongest people you know, the ones who radiate energy without trying, the ones who walk away from what no longer serves them without hesitation. Do they beg? Do they chase? Do they cling? No. They stand still, they stand tall, and the world adjusts to their presence. That's who you must become. A storm can rage around you, but within you remain calm, centered, unshaken. That is what makes others chase you. That is what makes them come back. And here's the truth. Detachment isn't just about relationships. It's about life. Everything you cling to eventually controls you. Everything you fear losing eventually imprisons you. But when you let go, you gain something far greater. You gain yourself. And when you have yourself, you are never truly empty, never truly abandoned, never truly broken. You are whole. So let me end this with a question. Do you want them to come back because you begged, because you manipulated, because you feared? Or do you want them to come back because your silence, your strength and your detachment made them realize your value? One path leaves you weak, the other leaves you powerful. And even if they never return, you walk away with the greatest gift of all, yourself. My friends, remember this affirmation and write it in the comments right now. I release the outcome. Say it, own it, show them, show yourself, and show the world that you are no longer chained to the fear of loss, that you no longer measure your worth by who stays or leaves, that your silence is not waiting, it is winning. And before you go, do me this one favor. Press that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because there are men out there just like you who are drowning in fear, who are breaking under rejection, who are clinging to people that don't deserve them. This message might just be the one that saves them. Stay with me, my friends. This is not the end, it's the beginning of your freedom. Detach from the outcome and watch how the world starts to chase you.